Hi, my name is Raman Gill. I'm an attorney with Sumpter and Gonzalez. We're a small criminal defense firm based here in Austin. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about using social workers when you defend clients, and how social workers and holistic advocacy and getting clients help on the front end of cases might make more sense for counties, not just in terms of getting people out of the system and moving them forward in their lives, but also in terms of saving the county money because these folks are not coming back into the system. So, and I also want to give credit where credit's due. This PowerPoint was produced mainly by David Gonzalez, who's a partner in our firm and who was supposed to give this presentation, but he is attending to a slightly more important matter. His wife is in labor with their third child. So I'm stepping in. You might be wondering why I may not know this as well as I should. It's because it's not my presentation. All right. So we're going to talk around 3 areas of discussion. First, there's some systemic problems. Second, some alternative solutions. And third, thinking long-term. Okay, first, the systemic problems. How are we spending money on indigent defense? Well, there's a disparity of compensation to value of service. Now, everyone's familiar with jail call, and what happens in most counties is that jail call and misdemeanors are where attorneys represent clients for less an hour because the client's in jail. Those are where cases move quickly, and attorneys don't spend a lot of time with clients, and so attorneys make pretty good money on those jail calls. Oftentimes $100, $200 for the whopping 15 minutes they spent with their client. And you know, you all know the stories. There's people that go in there and they spend more time with their clients, but there are lawyers that go in and out. They're there 10 minutes, they make a couple $100. It's the highest compensation per hour for the least amount of work. It's the least amount of value to the client, and it's the least amount of value to society. Versus when you've got an indigent client that's out on bond for misdemeanors or felonies. Now, when you take the whopping $300 appointed lawyers get on those cases, and you spread that over the, sometimes 10, 15, 20 hours that it takes to resolve a case, especially a felony case, it's not a whole lot of money per hour. So it's the lowest compensation per hour for the most amount of work. It's the most value to the client, and it's the most amount of value to society. But we're not paying lawyers for it, even though, if you have a good lawyer, something good is usually happening. Now, given that most criminal defense attorneys are small business owners, shouldn't we assume they will act in their own economic self-interest? Should we be demanding a greater return on investment for criminal justice dollars? Well, it depends on the size of the investment. A minimal investment produces, predictably, minimum return. All right, so what are the current expectations of indigent defense counsel? Meet your client before going to court, and as we all know, that's often the only time attorneys will meet their clients. Conduct a little discovery. That sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. Negotiate with a prosecutor, and resolve the case with a plea or a trial. Under the current mentality of the system, it's about processing people. I had a conversation recently with a prosecutor here in Travis County. We'd been working together on a case. We were really trying to do the right thing, come up with a creative solution. And we were just talking about how so many cases get processed through the system. And he said, it's more like processing widgets. Police arrest, jail houses, magistrate warns, prosecutor files, defense resolves, jail releases, or probation supervises. Boom, 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 boom. We're all happy. We dust off our hands. We've done our part we've fulfilled our part of the process. Onward we march. The system relies entirely upon the individual to change. The system relies entirely upon the individual to recognize that he needs to change. The system assumes that the arrest and prosecution provides ample incentive for the client to change. That might be enough for most of us, but that begs the question. If people had this level of insight and self-awareness, maybe they wouldn't be in the system. But wait, what about probation? Isn't probation there to transform lives and change people and take everyone up to a higher level? They have to get convicted first. And anyone who works in the system knows, once you've got a conviction on your record, especially a felony conviction, that's going to affect your access to housing, to getting a job, to getting services. So we're here to help you, but we're going to give you a criminal record before we do. All right, second, alternative solutions. Who has the greatest amount of access to the client? Who in the system has undivided loyalty to the client? Who is the client most likely to trust? In part because the conversations with this person are protected by privilege. Well, supposedly the lawyer. What if we harness the power of this relationship to fully assess a client's needs? What if we treated an arrest like an ER visit? What if we treated an arrest of an indigent person like a legal emergency? What if we mimic the team approach that the ER uses? We're going to talk a little bit about holistic advocacy. I added the pictures to this presentation. I'm a girl, so I wanted to add some pictures. So this is this is holistic advocacy, where we all stand around and sing songs together. No, not really, but it's supposed to represent working together to come up with creative solutions to get and keep people out of the system. All right, here's the holistic advocacy model. Determine if the legal problem is related to external factors which may be better addressed in a different system. Make appropriate referrals to those systems to prevent the criminal justice system from spending money where other service providers should be taking the lead, and develop a treatment plan for the client at the beginning of representation. This is important. We're servicing people at the end of the process. We should be looking to service people at the beginning of the process. As a lawyer, not only does this do the client a ton of good because they're getting help earlier, it also is it's very effective if you can work out a plan of treatment when you go talk to the prosecutor and say, my client's already in anger management. My client's already started going to AA meetings. My client's already in rehab. It's incredibly impressive to prosecutors when clients take the lead and they are trying to change their life without the prodding of the system. And it often results in fantastic case resolutions.